it's also clear that the American people were responding to hope and change we can believe in. Basically, the Obama campaign packaged and promised nonviolent revolutionary change, that we're going to take on the system as it exists and we're going to recreate America in a new way. And people responded to that. I'll be honest with you, Kyle, I saw through it. I didn't vote for Barack Obama. I voted for Cynthia McKinney. Yep. But I also recognize that the historic moment of electing an African-American president was enormous. So I said, after the election, Barack Obama's victory should not be celebrated as a victory. His election should be looked at as an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And in the year of this administration, the opportunity has been squandered. People wanted an end to the war, and yet not only are more bombs falling, more troops are going to Afghanistan. Yeah. The American people wanted to address runaway health insurance corporations and a healthcare system that was falling apart at the seams. And not only did Barack Obama not deliver that, but he actually is now proposing something that not a single person at the rank and file level supports. Nobody really believes that this healthcare package that Obama is championing is actual reform. It's an insurance corporation bailout. The Obama promised to renegotiate and re-examine international trade agreements and the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund and the Trade Union. In the North American Free Trade Agreement, he has not done that. All of the things that made people believe that there was hope and change we can believe in was not just squandered, but the hopes were dashed. So yes, it's been a huge disappointment for anybody who thought that the Obama administration was actually going to deliver change. Mm-hmm. I haven't been disappointed because I really didn't expect it. But even my cynicism, I thought he would do at least a little bit more than he's done.
Yeah, I as well. I figured that the war would continue, but I was hard pressed. I wouldn't have said a year ago that he would be upping the troop amount.
Yeah, I mean, right when he came into office, he immediately started filling his spots with bankers like Geithner, and I mean, it was just pretty outrageous from the get-go.
Jason, it's the continuation of the Bush administration. If you go through and look at the appointments, the number of people who stayed there at Bernanke, Geithner and his ties to Wall Street, Gates in the military. If you look at the things that matter, the military and the banking and economic system, there's no difference. And I know that that's going to upset a lot of people who wish it were otherwise, but folks, there it is. Yeah. There's literally no difference.
The issues that threaten the power monopoly of the two parties, they always seem to come out on the same side with.
Yes. And that's why, and again, I know that the frame of this conversation has been around the false left-right dichotomy. Yeah. Take a look at Ron Paul and what the Republican Party did to Ron Paul and how they silenced that voice. Mm-hmm. It's happening, on the left in terms of Cynthia McKinney and others, Dennis Kucinich, who are trying to speak another language and to speak directly to the American people. Mm-hmm. And I want to work with principled conservatives and principled liberals, but much more important to me, I want to work with ordinary people who are willing to confront the banking system, the imperialist foreign policy system of this country, and say, how are we, the people, going to create institutions that meet our needs and do it in a way that supports the best values of America. What happened to the American value of use it up, wear it out, or do without? Yeah. I mean, imagine all of the great ethic and intelligence and inspiration and entrepreneurial ability. What if that was actually, what if we actually had institutions that actually encouraged and promoted those things and promoted peace and justice and fairness and equity, but also encouraged appropriate competition that didn't give you all these incentives for just rapaciousness and greed accumulation? What if there was actually a balance between those two things? I'll tell you what would happen. We would see ourselves living in a system where all of our needs got met, both in the material world and our emotional, spiritual, and psychological needs. What wouldn't happen, and the only reason that's not happening, is because that system cannot exist while you have 0.5% controlling everything.
With the power.
They want you to buy one of everything.
Right.
You have to replace and repair and all that. And that's why our healthcare system's the way it is generally. It favors treatment as opposed to cures because you want to have return customers.
Right. So, at the end of the day, Jason and Kyle, what I'm saying is we need to start creating the institutions that actually meet our needs. We need to do it based on interactions between ordinary people to ordinary people, and we'll create them based on a different set of values. And, I honestly believe that within one generation, we can change not only laws, not only legal doctrines, but literally culture. Take the red pill and understand that you are, whether you like it or not, there are people battling for your headspace right now.
And the people that really think are more philosophers than ideologues generally, in effect. And so we need these revolutionary entrepreneurs culturally and business-wise to start to mount like a meaningful offensive, disengage from these systems and start to create our own legitimate ones that don't pollute, ones that don't rely on brainwash, and ones that are genuine free choice and transparent, and people can see what's going on and make an informed decision.
Absolutely. Could not agree with you more. All right, so I want to thank Kyle, I want to thank Jason, and I want to thank Access Humboldt for being a non-corporately filtered opportunity for we the people of Humboldt to talk to each other. Most importantly, I want to thank you as a viewer for taking the time to listen, watch this, and I want to put out a challenge to you. If anything that you've been hearing makes sense to you, if you think that there's something going on, then get involved. I urge you to check out Democracy Unlimited, but if not Democracy Unlimited, find some other organization or create your own. It's going to be up to us, not Sacramento, not Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Peace.
These are our piles of national and international news. There's quite a lot going on, so we're going to just touch base on a lot of these little articles here, and it's up to you to be able to go online, check our website for more, to find the actual stories and read more in depth if you desire to do so.
Yep.
And so starting it off, U.S. home sales have dropped nearly 17% at the close of 2009 with record foreclosures and rising unemployment. And also from 3 to 3.5 million homes are expected to enter foreclosure in 2010. This is following 2009's 140 bank closures. The Federal Deposit of Insurance Corporation has recently just took over and shut down 5 more banks that had a combined amount of assets and deposits of $5 billion, over $5 billion.
Wow. Texas Congressman Ron Paul has put another idea out there since they've basically trampled over his wanting to do an audit of the Federal Reserve in order to get some true accountability for what's going on here, for how the economy got to the point it is, and to have some type of reparations paid to the American people is what should be done. What he said is that now, since they won't even allow that, you should at least allow Americans to get out of the strangle of the dollar. We should be allowed to start operating in other, legal tenders. We should start operating in other currencies. And right now, it's currently illegal for Americans to do so. But we should be probably running under gold and silver, which is the only constitutionally approved form of currency.
Yeah, and speaking of Paul, actually, weren't there a bunch of Liberty dollars or something to that effect that had his face on them?
$2 gold coins.
Mm-hmm.
That the place that was minting it, that were minting these gold coins, was raided by the federal government. And what he's proposing is that people be allowed to mint their own currencies. People be allowed to use gold and silver as legal tender, because right now they have us under the stranglehold of the dollar, which we have no way of escaping, and they are rapidly plunging the dollar down as far as they can. It probably will be gone within the next decade.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a show on the monetary system and the Federal Reserve coming up. Well, in other news, the Federal Reserve, speak of the devil, makes a record $46.1 billion.
Just this last year.
Just this last year.